Thank you so much for joining. This is Exploratory online seminar number 60, Exploratory 6.8. We just released last Friday. I'd like to introduce some of the new features in this seminar. So before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Kanishida, CEO at Exploratory. We started Exploratory 2016 spring to democratize data science. Prior to starting Exploratory, I used to be working at Oracle as a development director, leading a team, building various data science products. Okay, so our vision is anyone can make data-informed decisions. And what we can do is we can democratize data science by providing a tool which is the Exploratory, and also sharing skills and the knowledge through the seminars and the training. Okay, so that's what we are. And when we say the data science, we think it's always like this diagram. Sort of you access the data, you transform or clean up the data, which we call data wrangling, and visualize the data or analyze the data with various analytics algorithms, and then try to find insights that is useful for you to make better decisions or answer the original questions. And then once you find useful insights, you want to communicate with others. So this data access, data wrangling, visualization, analytics, and communication, we think those are the 5 important key elements of any data science projects or work. And then we want to make these things easier through the modern and simple UI. That's what the Exploratory really is. Okay. And that's it for the introductions, and let's get started. Okay, so Exploratory online seminar number 60, Exploratory version 6.8. We released last Friday. Then as always, we've been releasing like Exploratory pretty much every 2 months or so, 2 or 3 months or so. And so this 6.8 is basically sort of like kind of incremental release. However, we managed to put some of the exciting new features as well as enhancements and also the issue fixes or bug fixes. So the agenda is these areas, so like data source, chart or visualization, and the analytics, data wrangling. These are the 4 main parts. And also, I'd like to cover a little bit of the dashboard. We made a small or minor improvement there. And also, the last not least is the server. This server enhancement is not necessarily along with the Exploratory desktop release. So we made it available a little bit before, but I never had a chance to introduce. So I like to introduce those like server side of the new features or enhancements as well. Okay, so let's start with the data source. Okay, we added the support for Microsoft Azure storage. So we had a support for like Google Drive, Amazon S3, and of course like a local file system to import the text file, which is mostly the CSV, and also Excel files. And other files, if you're local file system, but in the various file types. And then the Microsoft Azure, we added a lot for supporting the text, CSV, Excel, and also we added the Parquet file, which is sort of like a binary on a compressed file, which I think here. Compressed file, and then it's sort of like you can use it along with the RDS if you're familiar with R. But I think Parquet is really efficient in terms of like compressing the file data, so it can be very minimum. In fact, we actually use Parquet behind the scenes. So like every time like you import the data, Excel or database, whatever, and then you do the data wrangling visualization type of works, and after that, like you close the project. We save that file and that data as a Parquet file on your file system, so that next time you open the project, we just read that Parquet file from the hard drive to bring that data into the memory. And because the file is so small and also so efficient for reading and writing, the performance is much better for opening the data frame. So now we support this Parquet file for Microsoft Azure, but also not only that, we support for Google Drive, Amazon S3, and local file system as well. So the Microsoft Azure storage, the experience of this is pretty much the same. You set up the connection, and then you select the connection. You select the container, Then you select CSV files, Excel files, or Parquet files. You can import one by one, or you can import as a bulk, either way. And those are both supported as well. Okay. And then, like I said, a Parquet file is not only for Microsoft Azure, but also local file system. And then not only for importing, but also now you can export the result of the chart data or result of the data wrangling. So like any step you see on the right, at the right-hand side, any step of the data you can export, to CSV or Excel or other file format. And also like we added a Parquet as the exported file format. Okay. And then on addition to this is not directly related to the Parquet or anything, but just sort of like FYI, and in the summary view, when you click on the export button at the top, then you see export summary data. So whatever the data you see in the summary view, like the data for the chart and also those metrics like median or average and mean, those numbers can be exported as a CSV or Excel file. So not many people knew it, so I just wanted to touch on this one. Okay, and then another data source we added in this release is Microsoft Access, especially like if you're Windows users and you use Microsoft Access, and then you can access to it. The way you access is basically like you want to set up the ODBC connection, which usually, as long as you're using the Microsoft Access, you probably have set up. Then you select the connection, and then you can write a SQL query and then get the result. If you're not familiar with the SQL query, you just click on that table name on the left at the left-hand side, and then that will generate a very simple SQL query. And then you can hit the import button and get the whole data in the Exploratory. Then you start, transforming, cleaning up, or visualizing that data. Okay, so that's about it for the data source side of the update. And then let's move to the chart. We added the radar chart, which we got this request a lot, especially for people who are working with the survey data or human resource data. So we finally added this chart type. And also, like, not only for chart, you will see this chart being used for some of the analytics, which I'm going to cover a little bit later. Okay. So another thing is, here is the map, like a map standard. When you select map standards, there are a couple of options. One of them is a world map or world countries. And it's cool to have this map as long as probably like if you're in the US or like, America or Europe or Africa side of countries, then, probably this is how you want to see it. The problem is if you happen to be in Asia, or especially east side of Asia or Oceania, typically like map like you want to see is this way. So you want to have like a Japan, Australia, China left side, and then the United States and to be right side. So this is how me as a Japanese, this is how I see the world. The problem is that before when you can scroll to the right, then the problem is that right side of the United States or like Canada, or those countries are not color coded at all. And that's because the map was Atlantic Ocean kind of a center. So for that purpose, to address this problem, we added the Pacific Ocean center map. So if you happen to be in one of those countries in kind of like Eastern Asia to Oceania, this is what this is the map you want to select. So we support Pacific Ocean centered or Atlantic Ocean centered. Either way, depends on your need. Okay, the next topic is y-axis. Now you can reorder columns. You could do this with the pivot table, summarize a table before. Now, like we added the same capability for other charts, so that now like when you have the multiple y-axis, you can drag and drop to change the order. And this is also very useful for radar chart, which I have just introduced. Because radar chart, the way you want to do it, like you want to assign metrics or whatever the columns that the major columns, right? Like let's say like sales or number of the orders and then cost and so on. And then you want to use sort of like you want to lay out those metrics or measures in a certain way so that you can draw the data chart in a way that your audience can visualize it and understand easier. So so this column reordering by drag and drop is there as well. Okay, and the next is a pivot table. We always try to improve this pivot table and a summarize table. And with this release, we added the fill NA capability. So as you see, like there are a bunch of the data was kind of missing. Just because those dates, a particular month or whatever, there was no sale, so there was no event for some of the countries. But or sometimes like you want to assume those are the dates that should have the exact same value from the previous months or something like that. In sales case, might not be, but let's say that you have the discount rate or some kind of interest rate or something like that. As long as you don't have the particular data entry, then you assume that number should be same as the previous period or something like that. So in that case, you can go to the value menu, and then one of them called like a fill NA. And in that dialog, there are various options. And one of them is, for example, fill with previous value. This is the same options or same property that you see with a line chart. So we just added this capability to the pivot and summarize table. Okay, so that's it for the chart. I mean, there are a bunch of other like minor improvements in the chart area as well, but those are the major stuff. Now let's move on to analytics. In analytics, there are a couple of things. Word count and a topic model and factor analysis and time series clustering. So I like to cover these by doing a demo instead of going through the slides. Okay, so here, okay. So typically, like you have the text data, right? Like Twitter's text data or survey data, when you have like a free form of the text, survey data, so on. But you can actually, like we've been trying to make it, easier to analyze those text data. So here is a YouTube data that, so like the country information and then the title. So each like a title of the movie or the YouTube video. Right, and there's a category. Okay, so for example, this one, let's say like this is like a Trump presidency last week tonight with John Oliver or something. So that's the name of the YouTube video, right? So then that was the country. And then why this one is here is because that video got trended. That means a lot of people watched that video. And when that video became trending, trending, it was 2017 or something. Okay, and then the category is entertainment. And there are a bunch of other attributes, but today let's focus on around this data. Okay, so this one, I like to understand what are the words that be used often and what are the combination of those words being used often. And then what are those words associated with categories. So let's say, for example, like entertainment. What type of the words are more common? The comedy, what type of the words are more common? Something like that. So those are the things I like to understand. And also there's a category here, but maybe there are some of the top, we can sort of like cluster or group these documents into a set of the clusters or groups based on like how each document use the word. So maybe we can see like sort of like an underlying latent like topics, which we basically I'm talking about the topic model, and then based on that, like try to understand each topic, what are the characteristics of each topic, and why it's different from the other topics and that kind of stuff. So too much talking here, but let's get to analytics. And first, I like to do. I'm right hand side. I'm just filtering to the only United States data for now. Okay, and here, what the two things I like to do, that first word count, and the second, then the text clustering with the topic model. So let's do the word count first. And this is nothing new. I mean, this capability was added maybe like a few releases ago, but there's an improvement here. So that's the part I like to focus. So first, I'm gonna assign a text and then click run button. and very basic. So basically what it's doing is like a kind of tokenize or splitting into each word. And then basically like try to see like which word are more common than the other, right? So obviously like here, like you can see like official, that's the most common word. And the next one, the video, trailer, and so on. Okay, and then like when you go to the word bar, and then these are like a common words being used. And then another one is like a word pairs here. And then what are the words that are used together? So like for example, video and official, that means this should be like official video or official trailer or HD trailer. And so and Star Wars, this Star Wars used often, as you can imagine. Okay, and then by the way, like if you don't want to split this because hey, Star Wars is a one word. I mean, don't split it, right? So it's not like star. It can be star sometimes, like like musician or something like that, something like that. But in the Star Wars case, don't split it. And then if there's somebody other video using as a star, okay, or this musician or something like that, then that's fine. But when you see a star and words are coming in the same document next to each other, then don't split it. You can actually control it, something like that, to be words to be treated as one word. So if you type here Star Wars, and you can add more combination of the words by comma. But in this case, I have like just Star Wars, right? Okay, Star Wars, and then I click apply, and then now the Star Wars are not getting separated. So it's going to be treated as a one word. Okay, so this, once you started doing this, it's going to be like take a lot of time. So in this demo, I'm going to just finish with this one. So now like you see like, what are the words being used and so on. Then what we added this to this is added this category, because I want to understand, for example, that this category of here, for example, happen to be the same name. So it's kind of confusing, but a genre or something like that, right? So comedy or sports, or entertainment, music. I want to see the association between this category and the words. So let's assign this category column to the category, and then click run button, and then see like any sort of like association between. So let's say at this point, you see there's a category ratio coming here. So like let's go back to the words bar. And then like basically I want to see what categories, so let's say like an official video trailer around these words. What are the categories? Are those like entertainment or maybe music or something else? So I can go to the word counts here. And then what I'm looking at here is, for example, like official, like this is like a pink, like a lot of that the ratio is pink, so like music. So probably like the music genre, like they use official because official video from some singers or something. Same thing with the video, but the trailer is different. Trailer doesn't have this pink column because it's not like the word that used for the music type of the YouTube video. Instead, it's used for like a film and animation, as you can imagine, and then also gaming, and then like entertainment. So that kind of makes sense. And then other thing I noticed here is like a red color. So the makeup is the word being used often in this whole data, but then what type of genre, which is how to or style. So which totally makes sense, kind of intuitively thinking. And then here, around here, maybe like there's a gray, like a sports, so like a game is the word used for the sports. And then, other area, entertainment as well. So this gives you a lot of information. Then, right now, this is like a top 50 words. So like, but you can, what is this? Word cloud, word pairs, I forgot word, but sorry, so here's the top 30, but you can extend if you like, for example, like, make it 100 or something like that to see, more information. Okay, so another thing is when you go here, here's a word pairs network chart. So based on this, kind of closely used, those are kind of similar, and sorry, not similar, be in the same area. So this line represents the strengths or like sort of like a frequency of those two words used together. compared to others, right? And then the thicker the line, the distance between those two circles tend to be closer. Think of it as like the width of the line is kind of like a gravity or something. Okay, and then the color is basically like how, it's based on those closeness. So like they be used together often, then tend to be the same color. So here, the official video lyric love feature. So it seems like this is a kind of like music related, and a trailer, teaser, HD, those are kind of movie related maybe, and then but closer to the official as well. And then you see like what type of words being used together. So this chart itself is being introduced, I think the last or 2 releases ago. But what we did here in this release is 6.8 is added this property. So you can manipulate the sort of layout of this chart. So for example, like I want to change the color to be like just like black text, and then maybe like font size, I want to make it like a little bit bigger, so 1.3 times the standard, and then max width of so this is like a line size. I want to make it like it's bigger, so the default is 8. I want to make it like maybe 12 or something, and so on. And then you can change the color, and then you can change the circle size as well. And this is how the default size. Maybe like I'm going to just up to to format this chart the way like you like to see. Okay, and this chart is for like word count, but this type of the chart is called network chart. But this network chart is being used for like market basket analysis, and there as well you can now configure the look and feel for that chart. Okay, so next up, I'm going to just copy this because what I want to do is create a topic model, not the word count, but because of this property, I want that to be inherited. That's why I just copy. But now, like what I want to do is go to the text analysis and the text clustering with the topic model. And the text column is the same. That's the title, and then the category. I'm going to just keep this category column for the category, and I click run. And what I'm trying to do is basically the same thing, splitting those words into separated, and then based on that, try to find sort of like in what do you call it, latent or like kind of underlying topics based on like how those words are used together. And then right now, like there's a topic 1, 2, 3. So created topic, 3 topics, and then each topic I want to understand like what are the words being used together. So think of it as this topic is kind of like a clustering, right? So based on the similarity of the documents meaning each. So each line is considered as a document, and then based on the what was being used, and then try to find what are the sort of like a commonality among the documents and creating the clusters. The difference between the clusters and this topic is that clusters, like then each document will be assigned to one particular cluster. This topic model is using the probability, and basically each document is given the probability of which topic it might belong to. So same document can be considered as a topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. The difference is, hey, this document is probably 60% topic 1, 20% topic 2, 20% topic 3, or something like that. So it can be assigned to multiple topics as well. Okay, so you can see that what I'm talking about here is, for example, look at the first one, right? Like a foster the people or something. So this document is considered as topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. And by looking at these numbers, the topic 3 is the highest. So more like, it's considered as a topic 3, but some elements of that, which means some words used in this document, because of those words can be considered as a topic 1, topic 2. Okay, and then the next one is definitely this 0.81. So it's most likely this document is considered as a topic 2, and so on. So that's the difference between the topic model, topic model and the clustering at a very high level. Okay, so nonetheless, what we had is a top was here. So that's the word looking at. So topic one, we have like a new makeup, Black Day Fruit, Star Wars, and so on. And topic two is video, visual, audio, music. So remember, this one was like more like a music video related documents, right? Related words, right? And the topic three is trailer official HD season. So it seems like this is like a TV show or movie, right? So now like we have sort of like this like a music topic. This is like a movie, TV show topic. And the topic one is like makeup, or I'm not sure, like there's kind of, there's Star Wars there as well. So it's kind of a combination. You can change this number of topics. So you want to play around like how many topics you want to do. Let's say like I'm going to increase one more to make it topic 4. And see like, you know, maybe this topic one can be separated to its own topic or not. And then, all right, so here, topic 2, still, this one is like by looking at it, looks like a music related. So like official video trailer featuring HD audio, music, lyrics. So it seems like music related. And then the first one though, the makeup for Star Wars game React highlight. So seems like this is still kind of like a mix. There's a makeup, but also the game, then the Star Wars. And then the third topic is they make World Super Media Cake Christmas. So it seems like this is like also another kind of like a how-to-ish things. And the topic 4 is this like a news show, John, maybe this John is John Oliver John maybe. And then the test news and so. So this might be something to do with the news or politics kind of stuff. We don't know. And then, so this, I want to understand, right? So at this point, so how these, let's say like a word, like the topic 1, the first Star Wars game, how those words are used in that original document. For example, topic 4, how those like a news show, John news are used in the original document. That's where you want to go to this document. And then under this document tab, each document were listed. And also you can see the scores of each topic. So for example, the first one, this one is considered as a topic 1. However, like I said, this is not like a 1-to-1 and not like a clustering. Is a topic model. Is like in this case, 90%, 91%. This one should be considered a topic 1, but there's 3% for each topic. Can be topic 2, 3, 4. I mean, you know, this like 3% is probably nothing. But here you can see like how those words are used in the original document. So this one, topic 1. For example, like a makeup, like, so I try to recreate my favorite artist work with the makeup. So, okay, so this is definitely like kind of makeup related thing. And then you can actually sort by, let's say like topic 2, like this is how those words are used. For example, official trailer featuring, oh, okay, so this is like a music, you know, literally the music video, right? And then go to the topic 3. This one is a food, and then like a SpaceX. So basically these colors are coming from like a, you know, topic number. So in this case, like topic 3, but some documents have a mixed colors, right? So because some of the words can be topic 2 words and some of the words can be topic 3 words, and then combine all together, this document should be considered as a topic 3 or, you know, topic 2 and so on. So this will help you try to see like how those words are actually used in original document. Right now, each document, the way it's colored is, even though like all the words being used to build this topic model, but not highlighted, because each document, only the 30% of the words based on the topic score are highlighted. In the future, like we are thinking about, like probably like we should highlight all the words, but right now only the 30%. That's why like some of the words are not highlighted in here. So now like we start understanding these things, right? So top words, and then Next thing we want to understand is what are these words being used for each category of the video or whatever the category. This one is just a genre, but it can be like let's say simple example like female, male, or like 20s, 30s, 40s based on the age group, or maybe country like Japan, United States, or whatever the category that you can assign. In this case, I've already assigned this category column. So I can see the relationship between the words and in the category. So here, let's see topic 2. Now, obviously this pink color is like, standing out. And that's because music is the category pink is music. So obviously topic 2 is pretty much the music genre, music topic. Except there's some other things here, the film, animation, and then the entertainment. So there's some mix of the film animation here as well. And then like topic 1, what is the topic 1? Is the association with the category. So this is sports. And then it turned out first is actually the sports. So like maybe first game or first match or something like that. And then how to and style. And so, okay, so this is like a how to style and sports and entertainment. So that's that topic 1. And the topic, let's go to topic 4. I see like this like a purple color, which is a news politics. As I expected, some of the stuff is more like a news. So this topic 4 is a news and sports a little bit, and entertainment and comedy. So this is, remember this genre can be used for like a comedy or comic show maybe. So that's the type of the topic. So you see these topics is kind of different from each other. Then like this is a topic 4, but maybe like I might try topic 5, topic 6, and so on to see like some of the makeup stuff, and also sports can be separated into a different topic or not. Okay, so now here next thing I would like to do is here is a category ratio. This is a more simplified version, so like each topic and then what other category is associated with. So for example, the first thing I can see is like topic 2 is music. We already know that based on the top words we saw, but this is kind of as a whole, topic, like what are the documents, number of the, ratio of the documents. So this one, the music is number 1. And then maybe another thing, maybe here, topic 4 is news and politics. And then topic 1 is this like a how to start. Topic 1 and 3 is how to related and so on. Okay, and then the last one is the category in the past. So this is a new chart type we added. You're going to see this in the factor analysis I'm going to cover next as well. But what you see is basically the same thing what we saw in the category bar, like this like a ratio bar, basically same information, except you can see like what's the ratio, what is sort of like a number of the documents for each category in this case. So for example, here, like you see like a entertainment, this bar is pretty long. This bar is compared to other bar, it's pretty long. And that's because there are more data, like a lot of YouTube videos are labeled as entertainment. The next one is the music. So even though, for example, like news and politics here, you see a lot of words or like, maybe like a ratio in, particular topic, but the number of the documents or number of the video are smaller, right? So those are the things you want to take account for it. So you can see those sort of kind of dynamics here as well. Okay, and then this one is, for example, like in, let's say music is expressed by like this like a topic 2. Right, and then entertainment is kind of all over the place. And then, so sometimes here films, animations, like this like topic 2, like orange color is significant. And you can switch this color between the category and topics from the chart menu. So right now the color by the topic, so like a topic 1 is blue, topic 2 is orange, and so on. You can use a category as a color. What I mean by that, if I change it and apply. And this is going to do is now entertainment is this, like a light orange color. Music is pink color. where the music is expressed in the topic 2, or like a music related stuff in topic 2. Entertainment is kind of like all over the place. And how to is probably like a topic 1, topic 3, and so on. So, and the news and the politics is seems like more into topic 4. Okay, so this type of relationship, I hope help you understand in this topic model, or more precisely, the data and the text data sort of like structures are based on the, what was used or what was used together. Okay, so this is a topic model. Next one, let's move on to factor analysis. So factor analysis, I have done the factor analysis seminar before. I think it was like something to the survey analytics series. So I'm gonna just cover quickly here, but this time I wanna use this data, university ranking data here. Okay, so this data, each row is each university from all over the world. I think it's tend to be like a high, I don't know what was to describe as a kind of a higher level in terms of like a ranking, but so you typically see like very well-known school name like Harvard and like California Institute of Technology and so on, but also not just United States, but European countries and Asian countries as well. Okay, and then each school, there's some organizations that score them based on various criteria. So, for example, teaching or international research, citations, and income. Income is basically the students who graduate the school. Like, what is the income that they can expect, and they also like number of students and so on. Okay, so based on this data, like what I like to do is apply the factor analysis to see the relationship. Like a sort of, again, kind of similar to topic model, but the latent factors underlying this data, and then maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 factors once you find it, and then maybe those are the one drive or being expressed as these variables. Okay, so maybe like that guy, I'm just looking at here, then, maybe like a research and citations, they might be like similar information. So maybe, this is called like academics or something. Then, some of the academics maybe being expressed as a citation research. So therefore, higher, score of the citation. Any school with the highest score of the citation tend to have the highest score in the research and so on. So basically, like I want to see like what are the variables kind of similar to one another, and then what are the latent sort of characteristics that are the driver of these scores. Okay, and based on that, maybe we can see like characteristics of the schools, right? So let's say like which of the schools are more gearing towards the academia, or maybe something else, maybe like an income or other elements. So those are the things like I like to do. So this is the university ranking data. Typically, this factor analysis is being used for analyze the survey data. So you ask a bunch of questions to your audience, and then maybe like 10 questions, maybe there's some of the questions similar to one another, and then what are the latent factors driving those answers, right? So let's go to the analytics, and then I'm going to select the factor analysis and then the variable. I'm going to select the teaching, international research, citation. I'm going to select all of them by clicking the shift key. And then by total score doesn't make sense because it's a total, doesn't have any personality on that. And then other stuff, maybe, okay, this female male ratio, I think this is a female ratio actually. What's the percentage of the female of the students? So I'm gonna keep all of these and then click OK, and then just run it. Again, factor analysis is not new in this release, it's been there, but we enhanced it. So mainly around this category. So let me just introduce quickly here. So when you go to the weight table, then you can see like what are the factors. For example, here, factor 1, 2, 3. And then factor 1 is being expressed in the research and teaching and a little bit of citation. Okay, so you can see quickly like research and teaching are very similar information. And then factor 2 or like international students and also international, which is like international score and the international number of international students similar. It kind of got obvious. And the factor 3 is number of the students, as well as like a female ratio and then student staff ratio. So this is something to do with like number of the students side of things. Okay, and then you can control this number of factors. So for example, if I assign 4, and then now like you have like factor 1, 2, 3, 4, and then by separating, like now I can see here factor 4 is like number of the student staff ratio, but factor 3 is something to income and female ratio, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so let's see like what is going on. So when you see minus, typically this is like compared to others, it's a completely different kind of direction that tend to be like lower score. So the income may be like lower income or something. If you want to understand that type of relationship, you can go to the biplot and then see the score and like what the relationship between each. Let me just doing this, the relationship among those variables. And closer, that means they're super highly correlated. And then when you see like opposite or like kind of a diagonal, not opposite, like kind of diagonal, that means it's kind of independent, nothing to do, almost like less relationship. You see like an opposite side, that means something kind of like way it's correlated, but negatively correlated. Okay. So now like we have added, so we have this like weight bar, which is basically visualized version of this weight table. So here you can see quickly, factor 1, factor 2, what are the sort of like a drivers, like a kind of strong driver for factor 1, which is research and teaching, and factor 2 is the international student. Factor 3 is the female ratio and the income and so on. You can also configure these charts. You want to show the chart horizontal, vertical, or maybe like sort order. You want to sort this or not sorting. Sometimes you don't want to sort it because then you can see sort of like kind of a line, right? Or like a synchronized way. So for example, the top is always a research. And then, the bottom is always like a student staff ratio or something. So this might, make it easier to kind of compare among the factors, based on what you need. And then another thing we added is like here's a radar chart version. So this is where we use that new radar chart. So by looking at here, factor 1 is obviously research, teaching, citation. And then factor 2 is international students and so on. So this might give you better sort of like a picture of like the relationship or what each factor is representing, trying to represent in different visualization. Okay, and another one, we use past chart here. So this one is really, I think to me, this is really the factor analysis because factor analysis really find underlying factors or sort of like drivers, and then see like what each driver or the factor be expressed in which variable. So for example, factor 1 is expressed in citation, research, and teaching, and then maybe a little bit others. So we can say this is more like academia, factor. Factor 2 is international students. Okay, so this is like international, okay. And the factor 3 is something to do with income and female, right? So I don't know how to label this factor 3, but something like that. And then the factor 4 is like a number of students. So this is kind of typical, like straight out from the textbook factor analysis relationship. Okay, and then now, like we did for the text analysis, the word count and topic model, we added a category here as well. Because don't you want to know, like for example, if you have the category, then the relationship between that category and the factors, right? So for example, here in this data, we have a country column. So let's say, like, for example, United States, United Kingdom, or Japan, or those countries, which countries are associated to factor 1 or factor 2 or 3 or something like that? Is there any difference? Is there any sort of like association there? There might not be any association, but I like to kind of explore more. So that's where you can assign, for example, let's assign country. And the country has 71 countries, then it's going to be like too many of the categories. So I can click on this green button and then just keep it like first 6 or 5 countries, and then everything else in the under other group, or maybe not show the other group, either way. And then and see what is going to come up. So you notice here, these are the 2 charts show up when I assign a category column. So when I go to, for example, score by category, so another radar chart here, what you see here is the axis is now the factor 1, 2, 3, 4. And each color is that category, in this case, a country. So obviously, like you can see, like Japan is strong in factor 3 and then factor 2. Okay, and then the green is Germany is strong in factor 4. Okay, so this is the absolute value of the factor score, by the way. And then here, United States is strong in factor 1, and so on. So then, like, let's try to remember what was the factor 1, factor 3. So, for example, factor 3. Let's focus on Japan. What is the factor 3? And then I can go back to this. Weight bar. Factor 3 is female ratio and income. Okay, so it seems like these 2 are the driving factor of the factor 3. So Japan, maybe like something to do with the female ratio income is very different from other countries. And try to understand here, factor 3, again, the female ratio and then income. Okay, so these are the kind of strong in factor 3. So something to do is there. And then here is, again, factor 3 is, wait a second. So this one, oh, sorry. This one is positive. Oh, okay. This factor assignment score that was only for the positive. If we want to do like absolute, because like you saw here, there's like a minus and plus. So that originally it was focusing on the plus values, which kind of like hard to understand. So this one is the absolute value. So now the factor 3 is expressed in different countries. So if there are some schools in the United States considered as a factor 3, which is the income female ratio, is something characteristic, but Japan seems like this green line is kind of higher. So now we know that relationship between the factor and these categories seems like there's some association there. And the last thing I want to know is how those scores. So what do you mean by like Japan, like female ratio and income? So like if I go to data, and then let's say like I want to see like Japan, and then let's show a bunch of data here. And then what does that mean? Here, maybe where's that? Do you see income somewhere? Or here? So the income here is like 60 to I think it's 30, 40, 21, 27, which seems to be kind of low to me. So because originally there's a income level. The higher is this is 100. So this is like 100 scale. So probably these factor 3 is the income is characteristic, but in a negative way. It's kind of like a small amount. In the same way, like this like a female ratio. The female ratio, the highest is 77, and the lowest is 13. So let's see like what Japan is. And then looks like a female ratio is pretty low. So then like we can start kind of having an understanding of the factor 3 is the characteristic of that is like a female ratio is low, income is low, and it's not really where you want to be. But so that's the factor 3. So with these different charts and information, you I hope like you will have better understanding of each factor, and therefore you can kind of it's similar to clustering. You can group, in this case, the schools into different categories as well. Okay, so that's the factor analysis. Okay, here. Okay, let's go back to the slides and the times, and then move on to the next one, the time series clustering. So how many clusters should we have? So same as k-mean clustering, we added this elbow curve for time series clustering. So this will help you experiment, how many clusters you should set. Okay. And then data wrangling, we added the summary functions, and also we support now the setting the column for text wrangling, and then we support group by for TF-IDF. Let me just introduce summary function. This is very useful. Sometimes you want to do the sum calculation or count calculation, mean calculation, and so on, based on the condition. Let's say like in the product, you have the sales data, and your product is, category is furniture or something. You want to count, you want to get the total only for the furniture, only for maybe office supplies, or multiple conditions. Let's say like a furniture and technology and so on. So you can set any condition, multiple conditions, or this type of is in condition, or not any condition, any type of the condition, as long as that returns true or false, then you can set it. And then there are the variations, sum, mean, max, mean, and so on. So this is probably, to me, I'm a data wrangling person, so like I'm a passionate person, so this is really useful. But in this release, you have to use a custom, and then like you type sum if or mean if or something like that. But in the next release, we're thinking about supporting this from the UI, so that you don't even have to type something like this. Stay tuned. Okay, and then let's go to the move on to dashboard. When you have the repeat by for the chart and then bring that into the dashboard, then you see those like a toolbar to control the layout of the repeat by. Now you can actually remove this or not hide this from the dashboard or not by clicking on the button. And then your audience won't have to see it. So there's a small minor update there. Last topic is Exploratory server. Two things, team and schedule. So team is like now like from the accounts, your account setting page, you can create a team. And the team, actually, you need to have the business plan. Personal plan doesn't have the support. But if you have a business plan, then you can create a team. You can invite others. Then you can share with the team. So then like, you don't have to invite every single person. You can just invite that team. Another cool thing is you can publish as a team. So then that your note or data, dashboard, and whatever is considered as a team. So that sometimes you're working with other folks, and then you want to create a kind of like a consistent URL. Now you can do it, and then that means you can download this EDF of the, let's say, dashboard, and you modify it, and then you publish as a team. Then you can override this one, even though this one originally created by someone else. So this one is kind of like a step towards more kind of a collaboration work. Okay, so next, here's the last one, is a schedule. So now you can not only schedule to refresh the data, but also export the result to Google Sheet. So you go schedule UI, you see like checkbox at the bottom, export to Google Sheet, and then you can create a new Google Sheet, or you can add the data to the existing Google Sheet either way. Then you can share the Google Sheet with others. That way your other folks can access to always the latest data. So this one, we started with the Google Sheet, but we are planning to extend to other destinations such as S3 or database and so on. So please share your feedback or suggestions, and then that will help us to prioritize which data destination we should go with. Okay, that's it. So please go to download page, Exploratory website, and then go to download. and you can download a 6.8 today. But one thing though, so this is available for community version, personal version, business version, but no public version yet. So that we are still kind of preparing for it. So we'll announce once it's available. So please stay tuned. Okay, so that's it for today. And then, as always, all the online seminar content's being recorded, and you can check future events or past recording from our homepage. And also, you can go to how-to tutorials and video, and then you can see like how to use some of the features as well. Okay, that's it. I like to open up the questions. If you have any question, please let me know.